need to collect data, and that helps using IoTs or Wi-Fi enabled devices. But there is also cybersecurity issue if we use any Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or IoT devices. Data storing challenge is the next phase. Once you have data, because of different machines are used, different components coming from different organizations, different vendors, and to make a same format is one of the core challenge, and then store that, and then transmission or secure storage is another issue. Once we have data, then I showed what we can do data using for processing, through processing to generate knowledge. So processing is the phase I showed previous slide. And of course, then visualization and monitoring for accurate decision making, or visualization to see the changes or report the scenarios. Now, this is an example for garments factory. I didn't work on garments factory. The example actually I provided here just to get a simple application understanding. There are huge opportunity in garments to add value in the garment sectors. Otherwise, this is a competitive market, and we all notice that there are neighboring country, those who are competitors, they are trying to add value or innovation in the product. So let's look at one simple example, how we can add value or innovation in a product of garment sector. So think about this is the production line, and production line has variation, performance variation. And if these are performance variation, at the end, the delivery level from 100 to 70%. Now, how can we actually address this? If we consider an IoT-based solution for monitoring process and adopt based on real-time monitoring process, so that we don't need actually an observer over there to see every single thing manually, because it's quite difficult to actually measure the performance with respect to time manually. So IoT-enabled solution might give some sort of opportunity to optimize the whole process for the production line, and that might help 5 to 10% production level. So that can increase or add innovation or value in the product line, product development line. Two examples I'm providing here. I started actually two projects, one with drone technology for agriculture. So you can think of your industry 4.0, how it can bring the benefits in agriculture domain, for instance. So Kema Drone Technology Company is one of the company, and they use drone for fertilization, seed spreading. They use drone for, let's say, optimal form of fertilization. And actually, it reduced about 10% cost because 10% less fertilizer required when they sprayed that. And also time almost like 15 times less as compared to human spraying. And most important one is the health issues. Why do you use 10% higher chemical? That means ultimately these chemicals may have our own health issues. So this is huge opportunity even in Bangladesh, because we have huge agriculture. But one of the issues is the land should be bigger form of land because of the drone technology. If you use smaller land, may not be very useful. So there should be association to solve the problem together. And that can actually use for many purposes, including the diagnosis, taking the images of the rice field, for instance, or mango fields, mango farms, or cashew nut farm. This is why they are using this. So we thought to use artificial intelligence, data analysis, and try to optimize the fertilization process or seeds spreading process using drone, so that they can get much better benefit as compared to what they have now. And the company already invested money to develop that. The other one is one of the Innovate UK project, again for fisheries. As I said, I'm focusing more towards rural area now to solve the problem, how we can use mobile technology or artificial intelligence or data analysis, IoTs to solve some of the problem globally. So this is king prawn production in a remote area and on still water. king prawn on still water is much more expensive than king prawn produced near coastal area. I'm sure our agriculture colleague can give better impression on that in our discussion. So the Innovate UK offers a global exploration project to see whether we can use advanced technology to increase the productivity. Currently, their productivity in one farm, the one I visited, is 80%. That means they are losing about 20% of production. In one fisheries, they are losing about $200,000 every year. Because they have about $1 million productivity. Now, the whole idea is, can we use different IoT devices or sensors to see different parameters associated with waters? Currently, they use check limited parameters. Can we increase the number of parameters and make sure that all the parameters for king prawn production is accurate? And can we also analyze data to see what are the weakness? Not only Cambodian data, it could be Bangladesh, it could be Thailand, Vietnam, all these countries. So we are taking that target. One of the company in London, Mary Prospect Limited, and they are actually involved with that. So we thought to use advanced technology to see how we can actually increase the productivity and control or monitor conditions from remote location and offer AI-enabled solution to maximize the efficiency. So that's another area where we can play with Bangladesh as well. If it is successful at here in the feasibility level, then UK government agreed to offer a bigger fund to develop the application. So that's another opportunity. Supply chain management, there are many actually opportunities, particularly AI can be used almost every single element of the supply chain. You can see requirement planning, source procurement, manufacturing, quality assurance, logistics, and delivery. The core elements here where AI, data, and cybersecurity, IoTs can play a vital role. Prediction is one of them, like weather, traffic, supply, and demand prediction. Optimization is another one where enhance the efficiency, productivity, accuracy, as I indicated earlier, and reduce the cost. AI assistant getting popular. Sorry, the spell should be chatbot. There's a spelling, communication and decision making. And on the left side, you can see big data analysis playing vital role here. Natural language processing is playing another key role, particularly if you develop assistant, e-assistant like chatbot. And IoT, security and blockchain are playing another key role at here. Right, so let's look at if these are the key elements, then what are the skill set we need and what are the risks associated with this skill set. So this is World Bank estimation that the increase in automation will get risk almost 57% of jobs in OECD countries. And then 47% jobs in the United States, 77% jobs in China. So you can imagine how the future will be shaping, and our university and industry should work together to address this challenge. Now, major changes are expecting on transportation and storage and manufacturing. You can see huge losses over there. Losses means they have to transform, they have to change the skill set, they have to upgrade their skills. So this is how the prediction elements. Even education sector has got quite a lot of impact. The reason behind that, if we say, okay, why we are recruiting a lecturer, not necessarily they know something, because Google knows better than a lecturer. It is important to recruit a lecturer because he is creative and can use knowledge to solve the problem. That's why we recruit lecturer at university, not just to disseminating information. Those who are actually teaching just for disseminating information, jobs are at risk because there'll be virtual professors soon or e-assistants soon, which can actually teach many elements without any books or anything. So they have much more skill set because they are trained for a specific module. Even testing, validation, feedback, all these are coming through AI-enabled software solution. So measure skill based on the market demand. It's not just we are talking about these are the actual demand based on the different sources. Data analysis everywhere. We all know that COVID-19 requires so many different types of data analysis, including drug development. Every government also uses data analysis to use the drug. to look at different scenarios associated with COVID-19. Data analysis requires every single sector, whether it is business, agriculture, or industry, doesn't really matter. Engineering doesn't really matter. Cybersecurity is one of the exponentially growing job market, and this is something a country like Bangladesh should take it seriously. I gave a presentation in 2019 in Bangladesh Bank governor's office and indicated that there are security issues. And unfortunately, at the end of that year, there was, or 2017, there was a problem. You all have noticed that probably $91 million lost because of security, weak security related to cybersecurity. So that's something we should develop our workforce, not only just for industry, it is also for the country, to save the infrastructure of the country. For example, let's say medical equipment are connected with many, let's say, internet activities. Our energy sectors is connected with internet, different devices. So if we lost energy infrastructure, means we'll be losing everything. Because energy is related to our food preservation, energy is related to industry, stock market, everywhere. So cybersecurity is one of the core area for even for our, let's say, RD sectors. We should generate a new armed force for cybersecurity. Every country took initiative. No one actually explicitly talking about it, but this is what is happening. It's not just only our trained physical armed force is enough. We need in future more probably cybersecurity, cyber expert armed force than physical armed force, because physical war probably will not happen soon, other than the protection of the basic protection of the country. And automation is another core area. Every single sectors we need automation, and automation naturally reduce the cost and make it more accurate product. But it also threats the existing manual jobs. The consecutive sectors is digital health is one of the exponentially growing area, particularly medical image processing. Probably Professor Muradul Jaman is here, who may also talk a lot more about it from his experience, who involved last 30 years on that particular domain. Cobotics, not robotics. Cobotics is collaborative robotic activity, and chatbot is exponentially growing. So this is the market country like Bangladesh, because we have more talented young people who should exploit. Immersive and gaming technology is exponentially growing. Many games has got their, let's say, budget or their turnover probably equivalent to Bangladesh government budget. So you can imagine how big they are, but we don't see that because these are not physically exist. These are all virtually exist. And then supply chain and blockchain, another area in business domain, particularly growing exponentially. So we need experts on that. Cloud and mobile computing already exist and growing further. And architecture, digital construction, another area, because this is always a growing area to grow up the business activities. All these, one of the driving force for almost every sector is artificial intelligence. So what university should offer? Academic programs like bachelor, master's, and PhD. Without PhD or research, actually university doesn't have any existence. You cannot say it is a university without research. If it is just teaching, it is equivalent to school or college level. It's not university. University recognition coming from research. So we start building a new university at here, Camtech. We started PhD with UK universities, so student can actually do PhD, distance learning PhD from here. If anyone interested in Bangladesh, just let me know. Of course, applied research and innovation address challenges, societal challenges or Industry 4.0. This is very, very important for Bangladesh, not theoretical research, more applied research. Just for the sake of publication doesn't really make sense. You need to think of impact of the research. And then knowledge transfer program with industries. University should work, as I give two examples that these are university and industry work together. And every country actually look at knowledge transfer program. Consultancy, joint training workshop, publications. Without publication in university doesn't have any meaning. So please look at that context. So key academic area, this is what we identified: data science and artificial AI engineering, robotics, automation, cybersecurity, digital construction, interior design and immersive technology, educational technology, AI-powered software engineering, immersive and gaming technology. So these are the core academic area we should go to address the Industry 4.0 challenge. And research innovation areas should be associated with the left side of the academic program so that the academics can work the corresponding side. Now, this is more STEAM focused, but you can think of similar way in bio focused, like related to health technology. There are so many dimensions of health technology, including bioinformatics, drug development, are core issues as well. So thank you very much. I usually use this quote to kick off discussion. Let's work together to make the world better. So I'll just take one or two questions, then we'll start our panel discussion. Please, if anyone has any question, I'm stopping sharing my slide. So please feel free if you have any question. Otherwise, we'll start panel discussion.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, this is a hybrid session. So if anybody from the venue even have any question, please let us know so that we can direct it to our speaker. Please.
Seems like everyone quiet. So, if there's no question, we can start the panel discussion. Even after panel discussion, they also have opportunity to ask question. So I want to make sure our colleagues are there. First of all, can I invite Professor Muraduzzaman, Dean of Faculty of Health Engineering and Technology, Bangladesh University of Health Science. Hello, Murad, are you there? He is my classmate, so I'm just telling directly. Seems like quiet. Let's look at the next colleague, Muhammad Rashidul Hassan, Professor, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Agriculture University. Mr. Hassan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I think please keep your video on so that other colleagues and students can see us. Then I'm inviting Mr. Masroor Hassan Shurid, who is co-founder and CEO of IPage
Bangladesh.
IPage Bangladesh Limited. I'm sorry. So are you there?
So if I'm not wrong, he was connected and he informed me that he will be in the venue. So Shuri,
right. Okay.
Mr. Shuri.
Okay, so we need some views from everyone. Next colleague, I want to see whether available, Muhammad Munirul Islam, Associate Professor and Director, ICE and IT, Network Operation Computer Science, AIUB.
I'm here, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you. Good to see you. And then we have also BGME colleague, Muhammad Monwar Hussain, Joint Secretary, Sustainability. That's brilliant. Are you there, Mr. Muhammad Monwar Hussain? Hello. Mr. Muhammad Monwar Hussain, are you there?
Sir, I'm not sure I found sir on the list. Sir, I'll try to check whether they are in the venue or not. So, sir, if you just continue, then I'll be checking in parallel.
Then we have Mr. Sujoy Saha.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Sujoy.
Yes,
are you
yes.
at University IEEE?
Yes, sir. I'm with Dhaka. I was actually with in Dhaka City, and right now I'm with the Bangladesh chapter, Dhaka Computer Society.
Right,
IEEE
okay.
Computer Society Bangladesh.
Thank you for joining us. So we
Yes,
have a
thank you.
wide range of colleagues to see the views. So first of all, I would like to invite to talk about our skills or re-skills required from Mr. Mohammad Rashidul Hassan, who is Associate Professor, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Agriculture University. So agriculture is one of the major area which contributes our GDP. So can I invite Mr. Rashidul Hassan about Industry 4.0 for agriculture? If there is skill set issues, skill set or up skill set issues relating to agriculture technology.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was nice meeting you all. And first of all, I'm not associate professor, I'm a professor. Sorry for correcting this. It's okay, it's all right. So it is really nice presentation. I was listening. We're all the presentation. You are actually mentioning most of the areas, including the fisheries, especially the fisheries areas and some of the crop areas. You already spoke about the hexacopter or the automatic sprayer of the fertilizer. So this is excellent work, and this is excellent work for Bangladesh. And you also mentioned about the innovation, the statistics about Bangladesh. It is true that Bangladesh is lacking of the innovation index.
Sorry, I'm not interrupting, but I'm just reminding you that you have 5 minutes to talk. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just going quick. So thank you for reminding me. So this is like again, I'm telling we are still lagging behind for the innovation areas. So, but what I'm focusing in the areas in Bangladesh, so whatever technology are developing all over the world, it is not necessary that we have to take or we have to grab this all technologies for Bangladesh, especially for the precision agriculture. If you're thinking about the aerial image, you will use the aerial image where the land are scattered and the soil is scattered, and the management and pattern of the agriculture also varies from land to land. So it's like even for 1 acre, sometime multiply by 10. So it's, and all 10 lands are cultivating different crops in every areas. Even for the fisheries, almost the similar condition. But what the IoT can provide the solution, that's the product we are receiving in the market. There's no traceable. So we can use the IoT to trace this product. This product is coming from where, when is the product is packaging, what is the procedure of the processing. So when the clients or customers buying this agriculture product, he has the confidence that he is getting the product from the real farmers. This is one issue. And also like the production, there is a huge area introducing IoT in Bangladesh and allied countries, especially the sensor and the micro sensor that is completely IoT based. It is not necessary you should have the internet connectivity in all areas, since we have a NORA and other technology available. So in Bangladesh, there is almost few companies and few institutes started already introducing the sensor technology, especially for the crop, measuring the fertilizer, also the in other areas like insect and pest management. And I know there is a Grameen and even our university, and I have the I'm the team leader of one of the project called eVillage and the Digital Village. We have already introduced the 18 sensors in crop and the livestock and also the fisheries. So the ICT division also introducing the new project called Digital Village in very near future, within a few months. And that's 20,000 farmers are getting this sensor. So I'm going very fast to inform all this audience, like Bangladesh is already started very slowly, but what the Professor Alamgir says, the last word, we have to work together to make the better world. And that is my last option. So the problem is in Bangladesh, nobody knows what the other people are doing. I think this is the right platform. Then UGC is taking a very good initiative, and we can take all these ideas and innovation in one platform so that we can take this similar example in other areas and other research, and we can also develop. So we have also seen like the fishery, especially the sensor for the dissolved oxygen, ammonia, nitrate, and nitrite, and also like when the oxygen level is decreasing, the aerator machine can automatically start for the fill up the range of the oxygen, the limitation for the particular fish. Even the auto feeder also started very slowly in some areas of Bangladesh. And livestock is another vast area for introducing the IoT for the livestock, because the insemination is so important. So if you cannot detect the right heat stress time, then the farmer will lose for the insemination, they lose for the production of the cows and the milk. So this area actually is the huge area for Bangladesh, and we really have to work hard, and there is plenty of opportunities, and the problem is always the grants. And I would like to request everyone to shake our hands for the better world, for the better Bangladesh, and IoT and technology-based Bangladesh. Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Hassan. That's brilliant. You know, our thought process are pretty similar. I thought to develop AI-powered village because there are some digital villages in the world now funded by UNDP. But my view is, can we think of AI-powered village? Because we don't want to solve just one problem. We need to think of holistic solution for the rural villagers, their health and well-being, their livestock, as you indicated, their fisheries, their agriculture, their skill set development, their business, education. So only possibility is if we use mobile-based AI-powered solution that may actually contribute in many contexts to this area.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to one sentence. We have already started working with the metaverse for the agriculture, for the farmers, especially for the training. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting. No,
that's great. Exactly same thing we actually explored here. For instance, fishes at night time, they stay at the bottom of the, let's say, pond, and they take all the oxygen from the water. So oxygen layer actually reduced a lot at the end of the night. Now, this is one of the problem most likely creates that issues of 20% production less. So you are absolutely right that if we bring IoTs, data analysis using artificial intelligence, develop monitoring system, control the parameters, that may help actually grow production level better. I always give example when I present anything in Bangladesh, livestock is one of them, but today's presentation is a little bit different. So the idea is image processing can be used for human health related diagnosis, plant related diagnosis, animal diagnosis. And if it is mobile based, like we can, currently we are working on, okay, can we test all urine testing using mobile phone? Yeah. And similar thing you can think of for animal, similar thing you can do for, let's say, diagnosis of plant, even soil testing. All these are coming using mobile phones. So that's where the opportunities are. Thank you for your contribution. That's really helpful. It inspired me. Let's work together. We can develop a project together for UNDP and other areas. That's why we organize this. You know we can develop the network and start working on different projects. So please feel free to send me email. Right. Next colleague I want to invite is Professor Muraduzzaman here? Probably he's not here. Let's invite our next colleague, Mr. Masroor H. Shurin, co-founder and CEO of AIPace.
Sir, I just talked with Masroor. He is at the venue, but unfortunately, I don't know why there is no connection with the venue yet. So I'm talking with the event manager. Sir, by the time I think MD Manur Islam sir and Sujoy Shah sir is there.
Yeah, so let's spoke to Mr. Munirul Islam, our associate professor and director of IC and IT in AIUB. Would you please contribute here your experience, your views on skill and upskill we need for at the university? Are we actually offering this type of program at university that can solve actual real world problem? Are you working together with other industries and activities of the university connected with that? So please contribute. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving the opportunity. Actually, to talk about the universities, whether we are offering the correct programs or the programs that we need with the demand of the current market. I think we are still way behind, but we are trying, like at American International University, Bangladesh, we have a separate cell called Institute of Continuing Education. Yeah, we actually offer postgraduate diploma programs in cybersecurity. We offer, industry-oriented courses. What I believe is Industry 4.0, this is a fusion of AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Even whenever the more we are getting connected, so the more attack surface is also growing, right? So also the cybersecurity. So this is a fusion. And we need to train our students so that even the critical infrastructures can be protected. Because as a developing country, even Bangladesh will experience a lot of attacks, which is already happening. And as we know, there are a lot of currently we have more than 71% of the global population which is connected to the mobile internet, right? So the more we are getting connected, the more security risks we are inviting. And because I'm a cybersecurity professional, so I'm talking about the cybersecurity aspect that need to be undertaken for the development of the country. And we know that globally there are 30,000 websites that are hacked every day, and 64% of the companies worldwide have experienced at least one form of cyber attack. And in March 2021 alone, there were 20 million personal records that got breached in the internet. And in every 39 seconds, there is a new cyber attack somewhere on the web. Okay, and even the mobile users, this is really alarming because around 24,000 malicious mobile apps are being blocked every day on the internet. So with that, we need a huge number of cybersecurity professionals. And by 2023, the skill shortage in cybersecurity area will reach 6 million. So this is a very, this is a very potential area where our students can actually find job, not only in Bangladesh, but globally. And even if we look at Bangladesh, I have a data. According to the Cyber Maturity Survey by Answered Bangladesh, the job market for information security analysts will grow by 72% by 2024. So which makes it one of the fastest growing job fields in the country. So if we are to, if we are to reap the benefits of this skill gap, not only in Bangladesh, but globally, we have to educate our students. And I think this is the high time to offer courses like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay, so all those industry-oriented courses need to be taught to the students. And my understanding is artificial intelligence is definitely the future, which Alamgir sir already mentioned very nicely. Because even in cybersecurity area, we need now systems that can adapt itself with the changing, the attack surface and with the complexity of the attacks that are being taken by the attackers. So it's not that the systems will run on certain rule set, but the systems should be able to think and should be able to analyze, big data sets in real time and should be able to protect critical infrastructures. So the AI, machine learning, big data, cybersecurity, so everything is like amalgamated in this recent year. So definitely we are lagging behind, but this is the high time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Islam. That's brilliant. I had actually 4 PhD completion on cybersecurity. Out of 17, 4 of them cybersecurity. We usually say everything in the world is hackable. So this is a serious issue for any country. And the other common problem is users are the weakest link to cyber criminal, because users, many users, they don't know how to address that. For example, password. Many of them just use simple name or number. Anyone can hack. Anyone can actually penetrate their account. So that's one of the core problem. And every country, developed country, they are now developing cyber force. So Bangladesh should take initiative. If they are slow, it is the most dangerous area where we may lose lots of money, or we may have many threats, including the loss we had in few years back from Bangladesh Bank.
That is very true, sir. Because just to add with this, the cybersecurity spending is to reach $10 trillion by 2023. So this is a huge, huge money. And cybercrime damage is predicted to hit $6 trillion annually by 2021. So these data were published, by Cybersecurity Facts, Figures, Predictions, and Statistics for 2021 by Cybersecurity Ventures. And for most of the organizations in our country, not only in our country, even for throughout the world, cybersecurity is an afterthought. So when the system is compromised, then they think about cybersecurity.
Yeah, that's the problem, because people don't realize the problem well ahead, particularly most of the top managerial people, they don't understand the problem.
Exactly. And sir, another thing to add is you correctly said that humans are the weakest link in cybersecurity. In 2020, email was responsible, only the email was responsible for around 94% of the malwares that were invited into the systems. So, there are a lot of phishing emails and other things.
Well,
so
my
94%.
My 4 PhD students mainly worked on phishing, and we develop actually how AI can develop a solution for continuous phishing to protect from continuous phishing to an individual as well as organizations. So we did quite a lot of work on that. In my Google Scholar account, there are many publications to this context. So please have a look. We can develop the network and activity together if you are interested. This is for developing country. Yeah. Thank you. This is really very useful contribution. So let me call our next colleague. I'm just wondering whether our colleague from BJME at here, Mr. Mohammad Monwar Hussain. I'm wondering whether our panel member, Mr. Mohammad Monwar Hussain, is here from BJME. Anyway, if he's not here, let's move to next colleague. Next, who was a student, probably now he started working, Sujoy Saha. Sujoy, please come forward. I was in Dhaka University in computer science and engineering as well as applied physics. Now it is Tripoli. So I did my study over the same department. So please join and tell us your view, whether the university actually taught you anything about Industry 4.0, because you just finished your degree. Is it?
Okay, so yeah, I just gave my thesis defense of masters, so I can like talk about the current students and how the situation is there in the
Yeah.
academia part.
So you have 5 minutes. Please go ahead.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Sir. Thank you for giving me the stage. The main major issue is in academia stage is that we are not taught what the industry is or how the industry moves on. So that's a major issue for the students when they go into the industry sector. It's a lot difficult to work in the sector of innovation and also like the current innovations that are going. So they don't they find it difficult to cope up with the situation. And I personally, I would say that the academia should be more oriented towards the industry, how the industry works, because the industry is going to run the country at some stage. So that's a main drawback. And apart from that, the skills you showed, the skills you mentioned, like AI, blockchain, or anything like that, which is related to
Sorry, probably your correction has got some issue. Could you please check? We cannot hear you.
Hello,
Still
can
not.
you?
Yes, now better.
Okay, so apart from that, there are a lot of issues like we are not taught about those skills like AI, big data, or IoT, something like that. So in our courses, we should be taught those things. For example, we should have courses like machine learning, then courses like IoT. We are still taught things that go a lot backdated things, like a lot of theoretical knowledges, those which we don't know how to apply yet. So that's a okay. Thank you.
Hello? 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 Am I audible, sir? Okay. Okay, so apart from that, there are a lot of issues like people don't,
Sujoy, we
the
cannot hear
students
you.
don't. Yes?
Sujoy,
Sir, I'm joining from the venue. Sir, I'm
We can
joining
see
from
you,
the
but
venue, actually.
yeah, please
yes.
go ahead.
Sujoy, can you please ask the SHAMS authority that if they cannot make things possible, then we'll be continuing with the personal Zoom.
Sir, am I
Because I
audible
don't
now?
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
audible now.
Okay. So apart from that, like students don't get easy with those concepts, like we don't know how to use a formula in the real life world. So we should be taught those things in academia. That's what I feel. And moreover, research should be in collaboration with industry and academia together, not just industry focused or academia focused. And sir mentioned that the innovation index of Bangladesh is lowest among the Asian countries. And one of the major reason I found, which sir mentioned, is that the lack of interaction between the academia and industry. So we don't, in academia, we're doing a lot of researches. We're publishing papers in conferences and journals, but are those actually being used in the industry? We don't see those applications. There are a lot of good ideas which come in idea contest and different types of competitions. But are those actually being used in the industry? Are those actually being properly utilized? Yeah, there have been, people will say that, yeah, they are being funded. They are being funded pretty well to give them a stage. But are those research funds, or are those startup funds, or whatever that is, are those being utilized properly? That should be actually considered in mind. And moreover, what I feel is industry and academia should do the research in collaboration, because let me just give a simple example. I'm working on a IoT device. In short, if I work on an IoT device, in the academia, I would not consider the amount of power it is consuming, amount of data it is sending. we don't consider those things in most of the times. We don't consider, but when we want to apply that research of IoT related devices in the industry, we need to be concerned about the power consumption or the data transmission or receiving, etc., etc. But those are not, those are kind of absent, I would say, in the academia. So that is where I feel that academia lacks compared to industry. And when a student from academia goes into the industry, they find it difficult to work in such conditions that how will I tweak those, what parameters should I tweak to make the device much more usable. So these are the problems which I face, and this is, and moreover, we don't address, there is another issue I'm mentioning, that is, we don't address the initial problems we need to solve. There is a word in Bangla that is ghora dinge ghaas khawa. So I personally feel that we are trying to do some things in that way. That is, we are not trying to address the core problems, rather than we are trying to address the other problems which are on the top level, not the bottom level. We should at first go solve those bottom level problems in collaboration of obviously academia and industry. Then we should go with those top problems. I mean, those which we are solving right now. So that's all from my side. Thank you. Sir, you are muted.
Thank you, Suja. That's brilliant. Good to know your personal experience and your understanding.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm a recent graduate, so I know what we're taught and how we are dealing with these things. So that's what
Sure.
I feel. I mean, we want to utilize our knowledge. I mean, people are not, people from engineering universities or engineering background are going into jobs that are not related to engineering. So that's quite a bad thing for engineering students. I personally feel that. I mean, why, if you should utilize your engineering knowledge in the engineering field. Why should you do such odd jobs that is not in your field?
Whereas there are many engineering jobs, we don't have people. For example, cybersecurity, data analysis, not many people. Automation, not many people. Robotics, not many people. Anyway, so this is a core problem. But you see here, we are presenting all from the university, none one from the industry. Whereas I organized this session in Cambodia, there are 24 industrial partners attended in the presentation. And they actually come forward to talk about their problem. Now, I'm sure there are colleagues who are working in industry or their industrial partners at here, but I was expecting a lot more response. So when I proposed this particular session, I said, without industrial partners, it will be meaningless. Because yes, we can talk in the university many things, but we don't know actually real problem. So this is where the challenges are, and you indicated some of these. These are brilliant. So let's see whether we have other colleagues for contribution.
Shurit sir is here with us.
Sir, Mashur H. Shurid was there from the beginning. Unfortunately, he was at the venue, but there was some lack of communication with the event management. As a result, they could not get online. But now we can see him, so I hope now he will be connected with us.
Hello, Mr. Masud. Are you there, Masud?
Yeah. Hi, Professor. Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you for joining, because we are missing someone from industry. That's very unfortunate. If we would have arranged a Industry 4.0 related workshop, but we don't have anyone from industry. Anyway, thanks for joining. So you have 5 minutes to talk about the skill sets we need, or what are the re-skills we need to develop, and what are the upskill we have to do in relation to Industry 4.0. Particularly, probably you have seen my presentation, some of the areas of Industry 4.0 actually heavily involved. So please go ahead, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Professor, for having me here. Actually, I was here from the very beginning, but probably there was some sort of setup problem here. The stage is empty, no one is expecting us here. So I think this is something problem with the management. It's fine, it happens in Bangladesh. So let's focus
That's
on
okay.
why we're here. I was just listening to the other participant who was talking. He's from the Dhaka University, recently graduated. So while he was talking about why the industry is not following the innovations that are being made at the universities or institutions, so I can answer to that question because, well, the problem is not with the students or the academians. The problem is that how we are actually being taught about projects and why there are the difference between product. So we are having different ideas. We are talking about our ideas and projects and innovations. But when we talk about projects, a project cannot be commercialized, right? So we must have to know the way to commercialize it, which we'll call project to product conversion. So when we talk about a commercial product, if it really needs to be in the industry, if any student comes at us and asks us about their innovations and whether we can take it on, we first look into the scalability. So I can give the example of several occasions where we closely work with the academies. We work with the Agriculture University, Bangladesh Agriculture University, Haji Danish University of Science and Technology. And myself, I was a student of AIUB, and I have been in that ecosystem for so long. So I have always experienced that the students are more focused on the innovation, on solving the problem of what they think as a problem, but they barely focus on the problem of the customer. So if you really bring an innovation that is not focusing the customer, the potential customer, that will not go to the industry. As simple as that. We cannot invest on a technology that cannot solve the problem of the customers. If we are focused, obsessed about a solution that we are good at bringing in, that's fine, it can be a project. But if it needs to go to the industry, it has to be accelerated. Let me give an example. In our country, my company is helping the farmers to understand their soil and surroundings. So we have electronic soil testing devices. We have automated weather stations that collect the data, and we generate prescription for the farmer. So we have been looking forward to have student projects or student programs where we can use our data, our weather data, to develop an early infestation alert. Now you see, Professor, the university has lots of publication on that, but a very few of them can be brought to the industry because their lack of scalability. We have to be introducing scalable solutions. Our students has to be taught scalability, how we can actually scale this program or this project if it is given to the field. This is one problem. Another thing I would definitely love to mention here through this panel discussion, our academy also needs to help the students to understand the necessity of the industry. So let's talk about the agricultural industry. Let's talk about the sub-industry of agricultural information. So our agricultural graduates, most of them are focused on having their job in the government, or at best they can go migrated out of the country. But how many of them are coming forward to start something by their own or be a part of an organization that is helping the farmers or in the industry? So our students are not looking the problem through the scene. Our country needs to have agricultural graduates with potentiality to involve their innovation in an industrial level. We are okay. We are open to welcome. We have been getting private investments. We are a public-private partnership company being supported by the government, by the DAE. But we have hardly, we are hardly to get cream merits from the agriculture industry to work with us. So this is something very difficult. And if you really want to scale our company or the operation of a company, we cannot just hire people from the foreign institutions. We have to have people from here. So this is very important, I believe, that our academy needs to help the students to change their perception. And one problem I would definitely share here, which is that the extension program. So our company is actually helping the government to modernize its extension program through digitization. But the problem we often face it here, that our farmers are not ready yet to take the technology one-in-one. but it is much easier to instill a technological intervention when we talk about a farmers community. Now, why our farmers community are not yet are yet accepting the solution in a collaborative manner, but the farmers are not accepting in an individual manner. I believe the students of the agriculture university can help, can play a role in there. Each and every agriculture university has a program called agricultural extension course. They go on tremendous field attachment. They stay among the farmers. They talk to them about the problems. They show them different way outs. If the university could partner with us, the industry we are working on, we are happy to give our technology to their students, to their departments, and they can take those technology, the devices, the machines with them while they go on the extension programs or courses. And that is the way they can individually reach out to each and every farmer, show them how technology can change their life, the way they are cultivating. So this is something very important. And I often talk to the professors working with whom we are working here in the Agriculture University and the Haji Danish University. So I think through this panel discussion, I would definitely look forward to have this discussion to be extended more, where we, the industry, can shake our hands with the academy, because industry academy is the core of any revolution we talk about. And for accelerating the Industrial Revolution 4, we have to be working together. Industry has to work with the academy. In fact, to be very honest, 70% of the solution of the innovation we are now devising in the field have come from the support of the academy. So we have to acknowledge that. This is what's happening. And we get investment, we get finance only when we successfully show that we have the knowledge how the academy working with us. So it's a soft corner for the investors as well. So we cannot work alone. We cannot go along. We cannot go along further without the support of the academy. So this is the high time we generate more industry academy partnership and see how these innovative projects that my fellow discussant just told me can be brought to the industry with a scalability, definitely, project to product conversion, acceleration support, and definitely the resource support from the government. The government is supporting where they are best. Now we need to form an effective partnership with the industry and the academy so that we can leverage the support in a much more extensive way. That's all from my end. Thank you.
That's really brilliant. I appreciate you indicated many points. Just because I was also in the University of Dhaka about 10 years as a teacher, I studied there. And I noticed many lecturers actually, or professors, they don't look at students. They just come to the class, deliver, and then go home. I'm not saying that everyone, at that time there are many. So this is my practical experience. Now, when I went to UK, they actually trained us. Even as a professor, they need to attend in leadership program in 1 year. And every professor, they need to develop the impact project. That means whatever we publish, what are the impact out of that? As you say that there is no application. It's for the sake of publication that I have 10 publications, but doesn't really make sense. So that's really very useful comment. And that's why actually I propose this. And UGC is quite active now. I would like to request to develop a framework. It's called co-creation framework. Co-creation means every stakeholder should be there. So if users are farmers, they should be there. If the business people are there to deliver it to the farmers, they should be there. The scientists should be there. The developer should be there. It's not just developer. In many cases, it is now only developer. So we learned actually co-creation issues, which you indicated collaboration is one of the core elements. And this is something missing in Bangladesh. That's why our innovation outcome or scale index is very poor as compared to many other regional countries. So project commercialization, for instance, I was involved 6 startup projects in UK, and they actually train us how to develop business model, how to think of your minimum viable product, how to do the market analysis, how to think of consumer behavior analysis. And I then started a project on using AI. Can we develop consumer behavior analysis and do the target marketing? So you can see, imagine that how we can transform to use AI in many domains. So that's important. The other point I think we need to think of, there's no agency we have in Bangladesh who can actually connect industry, university, and stakeholders together. This is one of the missing elements. So for instance, in UK, they have Innovate UK Fund. Innovate UK focus on innovation, and they invite industry innovation to submit bid together, to work together to develop the impact. And UK University, as a professor, we always had to do three things. At least 5 journal publication every 5 years, and there should be impact of each of our activities or project development, and there should be clear environment to support research and innovation. This is something we need to learn and we need to develop in Bangladesh. That's why I actually proposed to organize this workshop. And I already organized in many countries, including Cambodia. And I found actually response in Bangladesh relatively weaker. I don't know why. So we need to actually work together to build something solid. Now, thank you for contribution. Let's see whether we have any other colleagues still there.
Sir, I guess we have Monwar Hussain, sir, joined.
Okay, so can I invite Mr. Monwar Hussain to contribute in regards to the Industry 4.0 and what are the skill and reskill or upskill issues associated with garment sector, particularly whether we can actually work together to add value in the existing current garments market using artificial intelligence, big data, cybersecurity, or even IoT-enabled solution. So please come forward and contribute, please. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Monwar Hussain. Are you there? Mr. Monwar Hussain, Joint Secretary, Sustainability, BGMEA.
Sir, I think sir is connected, but due to some technical issues, maybe we are having some problem. Sir,
Okay.
Professor Roshit sir had his hand raised, so maybe
Yeah, we'll be
Professor
coming
Roshit sir got some.
in a minute to our colleagues to contribute. I'm just trying to make sure all panel members are getting opportunity to talk, and then we'll keep the floor open in few minutes time. Is Professor Muradujaman here? Seems no. Right, okay. In that case, I think we covered. Let's go to the our audience. Now the floor is open. Please come forward, and if you have any question, feel free. Or any discussion you want to join, the floor is open. So we have one person who raised the hand.
Professor Roshit sir.
Professor Rashid, please join and contribute.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me again the opportunity. So it's a wonderful presentation. I was listening from the industry person. So always I'm speaking and inviting my industry people in Bangladesh. Why not they can go for the call for grants like Mitsubishi, Intel, Samsung, they have a call for grants so that the university or the academia can participate for their grant. If they have required some of the technology need to innovate, so they can go for the call for grants or call for proposal, and they can fund for the innovation. And I'm telling again, I'm requesting all the industry, they can go for the call for grants so that it would be the competitive, all the university teachers and the researcher, even the students can take part and can go for the that particular grants, so that it can start the new innovation. The industry can also look forward and come forward for the grants. So this is one way to make this collaboration with the industry as well as the academia and also the private organization even. And there is also the World Bank also give the opportunity for the investment program, like the 20% from the industry and the 80% from the World Bank and other organizations. So that should be also applied properly. So thank you so much, Professor. Again, I'm just raising the same issue. I'm just wondering why not the big organization like Square, Big Simco, and others are not giving this opportunity? Why not giving the grants for the like an open call so that everyone can participate, everyone can have a competitive environment and can get the grants and go for the innovation? Thank you.
I think that's a very good point. The problem is not one-sided. Let's say why industry is not inviting academics or academics are not inviting industries. I would like to give an example. Before I came here to Cambodia, last year, 2020 and 21, even during COVID issues, I met probably about 20 companies to discuss what we can offer and what are their requirements. This is something missing in Bangladesh. So I personally believe it should be two-way. Both parties should try to find each other. Otherwise, it will not going to work. So, and also there should be specific initiative or funding opportunities to develop this collaboration. Unless we develop the collaboration with industry and universities, the whole development process will be slow. We cannot reach to the goal what we want to reach quickly. So this is also responsibility of UGC. I'm sure we have our great professor over there leading UGC, Professor Kazi Shoidullah, who was my former colleague, and all other colleagues, they understand the challenges. So this is initiative I would like to request to UGC possible to take to move forward. Floor is also open for other colleagues or staff or industry colleagues. Please come forward and share the discussion. Or if you have question, please feel free. Just turn on your microphone and video cameras and ask the question, please, or join the discussion. It seems
Sir,
only
I have a question from my side. Sorry, sir. So, sir, I have been working with the students for quite long. It's been more than 10 years now. But what I've found that what SAR has, what you have shown, what our industrial friends have told, that they need projects, and in universities we are actually doing projects through our students. We are trying to do researches. We have to admit the fact that in Bangladesh we do have some limitations with the resources and funding and others. I do believe that what I have found in other countries, that in the Bangladesh was not very much flourished with the manufacturing industries. As a result, whenever R&D comes, actually R&D comes from the manufacturing industries more, because in abroad we see Siemens is there, who is funding some PhD, or maybe LG, or maybe Alstom I have seen. So these companies actually fund for PhDs. In Bangladesh, I think now the industry is going and they will be coming, and with the PhD funding, actually more researchers are there, because once lab funding is there, actually you can hire master's student or undergrad research assistant or whatever, our PhD students. So sir, in that sense, within our availability, what do you think how our students should approach for a higher level research? I mean, we do have limitations, even for the publication. If you think the funding you have for submitting in index journal, sometimes it costs you very high for open, the open source journal. So these are the issues, there are some issues. So what is your suggestion for that, sir? I want to know.
Thank you. That's a very important question. And I will always indicate that we should look at our problem, rather look at, okay, I want to publish in a high index journal. Okay. So I published 350 research article. I never thought, okay, this is what I have to publish. I thought, okay, this is the project we'll do, and let's see what are the impact out of that. So we need to think of a little bit different way. For instance, Bangladesh, there are many scholarships, actually Bangabandhu scholarship, many students are going for PhD abroad. I know many of them in UK. Now, when they go abroad, they are not taking the problem from Bangladesh to solve. they are going to solve the problem for NASA or problem for UK or problem for USA, which doesn't really make sense. I always said we should give the problem, local problem, and give the fund to solve this and get the experience from outside so that they can bring benefit out of that. Now, this is one problem. The other problem, we always think about money first, actually money second. We need to think of ideas first. And this idea should actually contribute to the industry that can add value. Doesn't matter which industry, whether it is garments, whether it is like a drone technology. I'm working here. I just started here with a project with a drone company, saying that the business you have, you can actually increase your business about 25 to 30% first year if you invest this amount of money. And if you trust me, you invest this amount of money, and if we fail at the end of first year or any time, you can stop them. They agreed. They put the fund with 3 years agreement, with an agreement that if we fail in first year, they will not continue. By just probably 2 months now, they said, we want to invest more. Just 2 months, because we demonstrated that there are huge potential they have, they can grow. So it's not just one way that, okay, industry will come forward, can you solve this problem? You need to go there, say that, okay, let's see what are the challenges we can address together and what benefit or impact it will bring. Otherwise, why they will invest? Why they will spend money? Return on investment is always everywhere important, whether it is private sector or government sector, doesn't matter. Everyone look at return on investment in different context. So I personally suggest that, okay, look at the problem. And let's say when I go to Dhaka airport, my first problem triggers me that if I look at the toilet, they put the urinal, let's say, position in a position that someone with Bangladesh height doesn't really go. It even crosses European. So why they put over there? Did they actually do the research? What are the stakeholders who will be using this? The other colleagues also indicated that we don't look at users' context. We are just doing it. So look at everywhere the problem around us, and let's try to address that, and then bring the research innovation over there and publish paper, as well as make sure that return on investment is there. So I know we actually get money in UK, for instance, because last 20 years I was there. UK context is I want to give you $10, but I want to earn $20 out of that, or let's say pound out of that. How? They give industry about 66% for a project. Government gives 66%, industry gives 33%. Why they give it? Because they analyze the business model that by 2 years down the line, business will be double, or they will earn 5 million more. The tax they will give, that is enough to cover this money. So you see how they are taking the money back. So they are not saying that you have to return the money, what we are providing straight, but you have to return through the tax. So that's how we should play the game. So this is something actually university teachers or university lecturers are not trained. I'm not blaming that because we didn't train them. So there is no training for university teachers. For example, I went when I was chairman in Dhaka University, after that I went UK for postdoc and then joined in a university. And they said, you have to go for teachers training. I said, why should I go to teachers training? I already been professor or chairman in the department. They said, no, you have to do that. It is mandatory. So teachers training, actually, we can learn quite a lot out of it. Actually, I learned a lot. So this is where our weakness, or lecturers will not consider that. Anyway, we spent a lot of time. Is there any other questions?
Sir, Monwar Hossain sir, I think responded to my chat. So I think we have Monwar Hossain again.
Right, so can I invite Mr. Monwar Hossain?
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Brilliant for joining us. We want to hear from government sectors that what we can do for scaling or reskill development or upskill development from the university side to address the industry 4.0 related challenge. Particularly garments is one of the key contributors in GDP. So if you share with us in brief, because we already crossed the time limit, probably we'll spend another 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for inviting us and thanks for having us to this beautiful webinar. So, as you know, that Bangladesh RMG industry is basically catering to the global value chain. So, and this industry is very much as part of the global value chain because we are catering to the almost all the global brands, like if you say H&M, C&A, Index, Walmart. So we always have to keep ourselves aligned with their strategic goals and targets. So that's one perspective. Second perspective is that we have seen that for last 10, 20 years, our cost of production has been increased significantly. Specifically, if I talk about last 10 years, minimum wage have been, increased by around 381%. And also the logistic cost and everything is gone up. But then again, our productivity has also always been a challenge. So considering the challenges, we thought actually a 360-degree approach from BGMEA, and you will be happy to know that in BGMEA Uttara premises, we have secured a space of like 5,000 square meter of area where we will be providing training on and training basically to the mid-level management to reskilling. The word you were saying, the reskilling, because we cannot have readily available skills in the market. So to absorb the shock, we need to reskill the existing management. So we are going to provide need-based training to our mid-level management through the innovation center, and that's particular center we called a Center of Innovation, Efficiency, and Occupational Health and Safety. So innovation is something we mean being able to develop the product. Basically, we are provided with the sample from the brands and we just replicate it. We don't have that capacity to develop product. Second thing is we have seen that in especially after the COVID, we have seen that brands are doing digital sampling, they're doing virtual sampling. So this sort of thing requires very sophisticated use of very sophisticated technology, very sophisticated softwares. So we are going to provide the know-how to the existing skills. So the Innovation Center is basically working to reskilling the existing human resources of the industry. But then again, if we look into the upcoming challenges of disruptive technology that we are going to face, we actually need more readily available resources, and there the academicians and universities can play a significant role. So Innovation Center is something that is a specific initiative of BGMEA to look into the challenges that we are facing in line with the Industry 4.0. But then again, I think we need more of readily available human resources within the industry to recruit and fit the demand. So this is in a nutshell, very short and brief. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining us. Absolutely right. Scaling, rescaling, and upskilling is the core issue now. I don't know whether you had chance to look at the presentation. I indicated that how the Industry 4.0 core elements are changing, particularly AI, big data, cybersecurity, IoT's related activity. And I also give an example, simple example that can we develop a simple monitoring process for optimizing the production level. And there are a huge opportunity for supply chain, blockchain area where AI, big data, IoTs can play a vital role. But we don't have enough skill set here. University are not producing skills. That is the indication we also noticed. So we need to work together. So I thought as we already crossed the time, I just want to draw the conclusion. Every contributors actually made fantastic views and comments, which are very, very useful. What I noticed that one of the core elements, the co-creation or collaboration is missing. And this is something where stakeholders like BGME or government sectors can come with university and government agency together to work together. That is very, very important. Agriculture sector, similar issues. And unless there's initiative to build this collaboration, it will be very difficult. Like even in Cambodia, they started a center of excellence for Industry 4.0, where their government sector involved. United, is called UNIDO, United Nation Industry something. They are involved, where they have government ministry involved, and also universities involved. And this is something we are missing. So we need to think of how we can bring them together. Particularly, I personally believe UGC has opportunity to play a vital role to take some initiative to this context. And government agencies, UGC, industry and university should work together. Otherwise, our innovation is 116 index. It will be even lower than what we have, unless we really focus on that. University should not just publish for the sake of publication to demonstrate we have many publications. The publication should have impact. The investment should have return on investment. There are many challenges, I know, but within the challenge, we can create opportunity as well. Many sectors growing exponentially, that's brilliant, but innovation is much more important than many other sectors. Without that, we cannot proceed. Our growth will not be sustainable. We'll find quite difficult to sustain as a mid-income country because we have to pay tax now if we move to mid-income country level. And this tax means we have to have innovation in the product to reduce the cost, to increase the productivity so that we can actually survive or sustain in competitive market. Thank you everyone for your contribution. Let's see how our outcome we can capitalize. I'll take some initiative. We'll discuss some of the colleagues in UGC and ministry from here, and let's see whether we can work together. But you all have my details. Probably if you write my name in Google, you'll find everything, including Google Scholar publications. So feel free to contact. And again, thanks all contributors. All the best, stay safe, and let's work together to make the world better, as I indicated earlier. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. We are really thankful to our session chair and all the panelists. We are humbly sorry for any inconvenience caused. And really, sir, we do believe that with this type of discussions and networking, we can help our government and our society to be to grow better. And inshallah, in future, we'll be seeing a very promising Bangladesh. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks for your notes. With these words, I'm closing the session, and thank you all once again. Thanks to all the
Everyone,
participants.
take care.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Assalamualaikum.